fight fans, UFC 280 is around the corner. Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira. Saturday. This coming Saturday, big fight. Can't wait, can't wait. Right now, what I want to ask you guys is this question, which is probably on everybody's mind. Can Islam Makhachev submit Charles Oliveira? Can he submit the champion? Can he submit the man who has the most submissions in the UFC? Can can Islam Makhachev do that? The answer is possibly. Possibly, because we know, I think we're banking all this knowledge, all this information that we're getting based around Khabib and based on the fact that he's being trained by Khabib. And we know Khabib. Khabib is by far the most dangerous submission guy ever. He will go over there, ground and pound you, and make you want to quit. Make you, like, he will submit you by just ground and pounding you. He won't even have to do some of his submissions. So that's where I think we're basing some of that on from. We're not basing on the fact that, Islam is just this great, crazy submission artist, and he has done some submissions, but we look at the submissions that he's on the level opponents. Again, I know it. If you had $1, you probably have a private jet by now, but not his fault. Not his fault that the fact that he was able to do these submissions on other opponents. His opponents just as so happens to be the ones that he had to go against. He couldn't get any higher level opponents, but nonetheless, some of the opponents that he was able to get, he was able to submit. But those are not the ones like Charles Oliveira. Again, they might be popular names, guys, but they're popular for a reason, because these are the guys that have brought in the most attention. These guys are the ones, the creme de la creme, the best of the best. The guys like Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler, even Rafael dos Anjos and Benio Dariush. These guys have been in there left and right with the who's who and been in there with each other. So, to be able to submit some of these guys and stop some of these guys is a big accomplishment, like Charles Oliveira has. He submits some of these guys that we look at, like Kevin Lee and Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier. He's able to put away these guys, where on the other hand, Islam Makhachev, due to his opponents, he has not been able to do such a thing. So being able to submit someone like a Dan Hooker is going to be completely different than trying to submit someone like a Charles Oliveira. No disrespect to Dan Hooker, but those two are just in two different levels right now. There's levels to this game. And right now, trying to do if he thinks he's going to go in there and do what he did to Dan Hooker, to Charles Oliveira, he is sadly mistaken, because Charles Oliveira's game is completely different, completely higher. We're talking out of this world higher. Very, very much higher than Dan Hooker's. No disrespect. So being able to try to go in there and snap on an armbar or a rear naked choke or guillotine or whatever it is that he thinks he could try to get against a guy with the jiu-jitsu of a Charles Oliveira, with the grappling skills of a Charles Oliveira, is going to be extremely more difficult. Is it possible? We want to give him the benefit of the doubt, not because of his resume and not because of what he was able to show us in the octagon, but I think we're giving him the benefit of the doubt because we see who his trainers are. His trainers are the pound for pound, one of the greatest art of all time argument, very big argument for Khabib Nurmagomedov. By far one of the pound for pound best gyms of all time, aka being also led by Javier Mendez. He was also trained by Khabib's father. He's been on that team. He's been Khabib side by side. He's not just some new guy. He's been with Khabib for years and years and years, probably since the beginning. I don't know their story very, very much, but he's been there for a cool minute, guys. So this is no new thing for Islam. Islam has been training for something like this for a long time, a very long time. But can he do it? That's a big thing. Now, I know what a lot of the AKA guys are, like Josh Thompson and DC and all these other guys saying, oh, he has been doing phenomenal stuff in the gym. Well, yeah, that's true. That's in the gym. There is no pressure there. You don't have that pressure because when you are fighting, you're going in the cage with one. You got to go beat this opponent, and now you're on live TV. And now your friends right over there on the corner of your eye are right there. Your friends on the other corner of your eye are right there. You got your family, you got your friends, you got your fans all around you. You got everybody rooting for you. You got everybody that's come to see you. You got the world watching you, thinking that you can do this or thinking that you can't do it. So now you have that in the back of your mind. It could, and he's also dealing with that for the very first time. So, and maybe in the gym, he could be able to submit guys like DC and Luke Rockhold, but quite frankly, it's different. And then also, you're not really trying to necessarily hurt each other. If you really think about it in the gym, when you're training with each other, you're not training to kill each other. You're not training to beat each other. You're training to make yourselves better. You're training like, hey, I noticed you did this and this wrong. Well, let's try to work on that and let's fix it. Of course, I'm sure there are great sparring matches and great matches where they are beating each other half to death almost, but at the same token, not really, because that is your training partner, that is the person that you are, that is your ride or die. You're ready to go. You want to make sure you want to better him, not bring him down that much more or hurt him. Of course, nobody means to hurt anybody in training. Accidents do happen in the cage. Odds are they're not. Some of the great legends, even like Frank Mir has mentioned, when he gets that armbar on you, he's not trained. He didn't train for you to tap out. He's training to break that arm. It's up to you to tap out. He's not trying to put you in a submission where like, hey, hopefully this guy taps out. Like, no, these guys are trained to knock you out, to put you in arm bars where it's gonna break your arm or break your leg or put you to sleep. These are the things that they're training to do in a real fight. So I don't necessarily chop it up to when it comes to the gym. So can Islam do what he's been able to do all these years in AKA training gym under, being the protege of a Habib and with all these other guys like a Luke Rockhold, like a DC, due to Charles Oliveira? Can he submit Charles Oliveira? Again, guys, I don't feel it. I do not feel it. I don't feel like he could. I feel like he definitely could, maybe down the line. I would have loved to see what he was able to do to guys like Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler, Rafael dos Anjos, Benil Dariush, but we didn't get to see that. We are getting to see him fight he's going ranked from, I guess it was rank number 9, number 8, going down to the champion. So it's definitely a big step. Me personally, I don't feel like it could, but I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.